Yeah, cute guy is back. If that is not a great start of my morning, I don't know. And with that being said, a warm welcome logically to EHOME versus Recca, starting here up on nuke, which is already a surprise to me to watch. But otherwise, I love to see that map because it's somehow... Well, it's an interesting one. We have to give him that. As Group B already lost its first team, called Eclipse, well, to say it like that, every team got themselves free victory already. A free victory, basically, except one who played in the beginning. Yesterday, you've seen my good friend and lovely man, Switchblade J, take over the games, and it was actually no major surprises. MFC took Fierce Tiger down, 5-power signature, and a 1-1 between the Mongols as well as Fierce Tiger. And with that being said, I'm just very excited to see what's going to come at us now, because Nuke is being played. It is actually being decided by Recca, who usually like to play Dust 2 so far when it comes down to... No, it was Signature. My bad. It was it Signature? Now I have to make my brain work. Oh, goddamn. And brain working is usually not my type of stuff. Let me see. They actually have always removed Dust 2. My bad. That was actually Signature doing that. Either way, we're starting off right off the bat. EHOME. Getting a little bit in a tricky situation though, as now it needs to be slowly finding the frags. Slowly he falls down. Frost Misty goes for that. He gets just in the jump taken out. 2 more alive. The headshots have to work out. Marek found 3 frags already onto Sis. He finds it! 4K! And Sis is securing themselves that #1 Recca take in this lead on a terrorist site. And as that 1-0 brings out the AKs and Co for Recca, it shouldn't be too hard to maintain control and to bring it up to the third. The only thing you always have to look out for in those Chinese and Asian CS kind of games is that surprisingly you find a lot of eco rounds going in favor of the ones, or more likely forced by, excuse me, in the ones who actually, well, have the worst armory. And that happens fairly often and fairly usual seeing that happening. Now, OR fighting the first into X-Pro. As delivering frags is exactly what you need early in this game. 1 minute 10 left on the clock. And the most uncomfortable thing you could get yourself into in such a round is being caught up under pressure of time with ZZs just waiting around the corner. Recca, who has a fairly slow approach, and especially a bomb not so close to his sight, might be caught out. Is to the left. Americ arrives, and Americ finds a frag onto Rousseau. If he pushes far enough, might get control from behind. First of all, he's grabbing that UMP, and he plays it safe and aggressive. 40 more seconds, and Recca's bomb is not so close to any of the sites. As now Insane finds himself Sis. We did the 4K in the previous round. There comes the approach from Asteroid towards the side of A. I think Furshits as well as Merrick don't have too many options in finding that.
Bomb has been planted.
As that bomb is down, thing we just gotta ask ourselves, how aware are they of a Merrick coming in from behind? Because for the moment, it seems like he's not going from hell to heaven. He's rather keeping that UMP in his hands, using it in the following up round to make everything look better. As what we're going to see next is basically an eco from EHOME, and when you see that, you don't expect too much, especially when you hear a nuke, and the close range duels are usually won by AKs then when you don't have the ZZs. And so as the 2-0 goes, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard right now for Recca to go for the classic 3-0 streak. And that 3-0 streak is a good start. Then go further and further. The question is, can you grab on that momentum or not? Because I personally feel very often like when teams have that 3-0 scoreline, they start to struggle a little, which is understandable because the opponent is getting the first real buy out of it. And with the first real buy, you can logically get yourself a good bunch of control in general. There comes Rousseau, realizing there's a few around. He doesn't find himself even one. And with that being said, it's getting a little bit uncomfortable right here. AK in the hand be slowly, as just mentioning him, he's getting taken up. Asterisk. Bit of information gained. So patience, once more on the Recca site. If I like to summarize the Asian qualifier for you so far. So first of all, what is very usual is that many rounds end up with being very slow, last 30, 40, 20 seconds approaches towards the site. Second of all, the amount of force and eco rounds working in favor of the team who has the worst weaponry is quite high. Actually, it's shocking. It's extremely shocking, to be very fair. And then, what else do we got? Many overtimes that could have ended differently. If you watch my Twitter, you'll find a clip, I think 2, 3, 4 days ago, and you'll see there's an overtime, and one team didn't do nothing else than just defend the bomb site. It went differently than at the end of the day, and with something like that going differently, you're not feeling 100% comfortable as a team who just lost such an overtime. But first of all, we're not there yet. We're far away from it. 3-0, and Recca will now bring us either an extension of their leads to 4, 5, and more, or we rather see something else happening. I'm not quite sure if that will be the case. And as that will be the case, once more slow approach we got ourselves. Quick look on the map. I were fairly far already. As he moved already now in secret. Frost Misty just holding control towards ramp. The initial situation looks very favorable to approach towards the side of B at the moment, as in that point Merrick as well as Insane finding themselves frags onto the Recca site, making them a little bit of a more vulnerable units. Still finally the frag comes in, Asterisk picks up that AK, and technically speaking this could give him the opportunity to go towards ramp and lead the entire team onto the B side, when unfortunately though the players are pushing the lobby and making it a hard job right now for Iwar as well as for SYS, as the team has to bring it down to only one single individual. Aquamarine Revenge in hand, praying to make this all right. Alright, finding himself 7 more seconds, and moving any further in the room he has not cleared is probably not the best of an idea, because first shits was coming down from the bottom, might hit him behind after time, and he doesn't do so. Iwar's lucky enough and also skilled enough to let himself survive in round number 4 without dying after time. But Recca in total are not 100% favorable in that situation due to the reason losing it and also having to rebuy after rounds where they didn't get flawless through. I mean, those are not 100% flawless. You always have to rebuy on a few. So his first hits seems to have a good kind of vision through that smoke, as there's a tiny gap between it. Still secret move to the majority of the team from Indonesia. Just making the move towards the B side. And till this day, I'm not happy with those nuke changes. They're so confusing to me right now. That Molo is very crucial though. Merrick has to move out, and whilst he has to move out, no one can find him though. It needs to be one of them peeking. And there they're coming through the door. Ross allowing himself the entry frag towards EHOME, but down to a 2v4 once more. And that makes Recca not the best of a team right now, looking at it situation-wise. Nothing is lost, far away from it. 50 seconds. Smoke popped in one direction. The Molotov could go in the other, but X-Pro, who's sneaking in from behind like a special agent, it's not gonna be called out by Asterix, who seemingly had a bit of idea. One could come from behind. Frost Misty gets himself the frag though. Dink down to 10 HP. We're back to a man equalized situation where though the only player with a good bunch of HP left on the Recca side is falling. Frost Misty has to do it with 10. And he rather seems to run away from the action though. He has 3.4k. He rather wants to drop it to one of his teammates. Reasonable, I would call that. Very reasonable. Very adult of him. And yeah, there he has. Is that even working? How many HP do you got? I dinked you, for Christ's sake. To answer your question, this is a best of 2. Well, is it best of 3 or best of 2? A best of 1? It's a best of 2, and some people don't understand the system, which I can understand. It basically is like this. You play 2 maps. If you win both maps, 3 points. If each team wins 1 map, 1 point. If one team loses both maps, 0 points. Very, very simple. Mathematics gone right. Quick math. If you didn't know, you know, back when I was in high school, I was quite bad at maths. Though maths is a cool subject, I have to say. I was just not good at it. I think talking is more my thing than logic. Either way. Recca on the fort still after they've taken the pistol, and then the following up ones with a little bit of uncertainty, but still the right kind of approach. EHOME could get themselves a tie set. X-Pro wants to wallbang. And Asterix, I like that approach of going up high and finding himself that frack. $50 more seconds still, and Recca with once more the patience at hand and very obvious plays. Asterix not taken out. That would have been very crucial, but the crossfire is perfect on the site. Slowly at first, standing in the right angles to support themselves when the players are pushing out onto the A site. They made it work, and the majority of Recca is not bankrupt, but low life standards. And so as we got ourselves that first impression of how far EHOME can go, 70 HP left on the X-Pro. He's eating up a few 50 cal bullets. Not too painful, those 50 cal bullets, to be very fair. Not too bad. You can live with it. And as when we take a look at it, this map has been played twice by Recca. They've lost it once, they've won it once. Actually, recently against Gozu, a South Korean team. They took it home 16-14. It's not representative, though, because I can barely read anything out of it. When you have only played 2 matches and both of them went close, you can say, yeah, eventually, possibly, that could be just close right now. First of all, though, X-Pro has one very close to him, and to his right, he needs to look. As there, the Deagle shot comes in, he whiffs the flick. And as now Merrick is going for the aggressive approach, I warm with that. ZZ needs to work it out. Can't do it. Not even any damage dealt onto Merrick, who's, by the way, the only non-Chinese in a Chinese roster. He's from Taiwan. And Marcy, I gave you mod here. You're being very impolite. Okay, so if you continue like this, I think we'll not see you on future Starletter productions. I'm really sorry. First of all, though, they seem to make the future right now a little bit harder, as that bomb, though, from Rousseau goes down towards the B site. X-Pro is the last man to survive. Hello, Tryhard. How are you doing? I hope you're doing beautiful, as I do. I woke up at 8, hopped into my BMW E46 330 Li. I hopped into that and drove home from some other place, and then started casting. it's a lovely story. I don't know. It's a great morning story. If you want to find out more about what kind of car is that guy actually driving, exclamation mark caster leads you to, well, the lovely bits of my Instagram and Twitter, where you find all the car pictures. With that being said, what website is hosting this game? It should be, if I'll take a look at it right, 5eplay.com. And right now, oh, I want to see that smoke. It's the first wall. The second wall going to be built up close to it. The outside control is quite massive, but when you peek against that AWP of X-Pro, you're not going to have a happy day. And that just happened with Asterisk. As the initial situation looked good towards outside, you suddenly feel like you're losing your head a little. As X-Pro doesn't stop with his AWP, picking himself up a double, and so helping out the team, which is actually economically and weaponry-wise a little bit hurt, to advance. Down to 55. A third comes in right now from X-Pro. Easy op shots. No. It feels a little too easy for him. He doesn't have a problem with any of this. It feels like he actually just went there and said, you know, I wanna have a good day today. So I go to the fun fair and I shoot a little bit of ducks. And that's pretty much what happened with that op accuracy happening. Insane finding it in the end with that P250 and Recca falling short. And that's one thing I don't 100% understand, to be very fair. You know X-Pro, and to give you a kind of fair idea how good this guy is and what he does, I mean, 1.0 rating, 20 years old, playing for EHOME, that's quite decent. I think we can all agree on that. And when you then continuously, over and over and over, peak against that AWP, which has an advantage due to the distance on long, I mean, if I would know how this works again, how do you shift? Look, here. Like, 50 meters, the op is logically hella advantageous there. And with that 50-meter difference, I personally feel like there's no reason to take that duel against the op in case it's not smoked off or you're really having an advantage. You're feeling confident enough. And this round and the previous round, we've seen that that op is feeling a little bit more confident. As Recca is now down only to those pistols. Oh, exclamation mark caster. There it comes. What kind of good human beings are? I'm an advertisement genius. No, I'm not. I wish I would have studied something like that, but I'm too late into everything. Either way, at 4-4. How many pings? There you can see it. It's 1 hour 20 seconds delayed, but the ping should be fine. As the Indonesian lads of Recca play against the Chinese. We're going to take a look later. How much is the actual distance between both of the countries? I can do that for you. I'm a geographic genius, but first of all, do Recca have the tactical finesse, the right timing, and the ZZ skill, the raw ZZ skill, to find themselves that approach towards the site. The first one comes in, first shit's taken out. Insane, he doesn't stop there, the crossfires once more good, be slowly with 1, 2, and also a third. That is the exact right way to take out your opponent. Recca falling short. Their economy is looking quite okay though in such a round, which allows them to go up into these AKs as well as finding themselves that bit of utility. And if those last 2 rounds have taught you a thing, you know, if you actually realized what to do and what not to do, aggressing X-Pro only works under those circumstances, and that is quite lovely, because what you see is they didn't take the aggression towards the position right now where X-Pro is looking at. And Merrick, as that definitely has been hurt, he will be expected by SYS. He finds him there through the wall whilst moving. Galil is always a little bit like a kinder surprise when it comes down to the spray pattern, but first of all, first shit's coming aggressive, gets taken out in the end as he finds himself, SYS down to 15. Slowly, as well as X-Pro, Welcome to the back and forth games.
Bomb has been planted.
Something that somehow defines the mid-tier Asian CS. And when you take a look at it, I personally find it kind of odd. I mean, that was more of an eco one. You see, there it goes, there it goes. Win of them, back and forth. Something I personally, as a viewer and as a caster, don't like 100%. But I think that is very, very usual to see in games where both teams are trying to converge as a unit to become better and better. There it goes. X-Pro finding at least one with that nade. The back and forth. Recca has lost fairly many men right here. And I personally feel that Recca is at that point in time, if you didn't know, by the way, that's something we have to first of all talk about. Recca is a top 100 team. That's number 1. And probably a good bunch of players, a good bunch of you didn't know, which is fine. The very interesting thing, first of all, they had a player called Recca back in their roster. Second of all, Exaccurate as well as Bentet used to be in this roster, as both of them are, surprise, surprise, Indonesian. And I think it was a big back and forth, when I remember right, with the Recca CEO to rent out, to put Bentet on a loan. It was also a few months back. But both players right now playing under the name of Tyloo. And as it goes, Insane gets himself certain frag, free or alive. There's the patience, and especially the accuracy needed. Asterisk as well as Russo. Well, the only two, now only one alive. Gets in the corner, finds himself that one. 8 HP onto Merrick. Could be an easy one-shot target as he finds himself that player. Yes, he does. 7 HP. Smokes that one out, but that AWP up there from X-Pro. Does he find himself? Because he should be able to do so, as he doesn't expect him. The USPS does the job. And there we go. EHOME allowing the opponent to go for the plant, but finding themselves that number 6 is beneficial. There it goes. Where does the sound come from? Hold on, hold on. With that nade. Hello? The back and forth. Recca has lost fairly many men. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Seems Twitch just said, I want to turn on the sound. Thank you very much, Twitch. I appreciate your existence every day and every night. So, 65. With Recca. And themselves once more that back and forth and found their opponent to see that defuse come in. The only issue we're having right now for each of the teams is that whoever loses will be quite pretty much in an economic drought, to say it like that. Rousseau getting taken out by X-Pro Check. Unfortunately, we couldn't see from where from, but Asterisk should be able to see what is happening there, and especially should be slowly finding SYS though. It seems like Recca will see their opponent finding number 7. That's at least what I feel like. At that point in time, the scout won't find a thing. Frost Misty jumping around with his scouts will not be successful either. There it goes. The MP9 strikes. And what's it with the Bentet Polish memes? I'm gonna tell you. Very simple. You see the flag up here? This flag up here is basically inverted Poland. Because Poland, the Polish flag, looks like this. No, the other way around. Damn it. The Polish flag looks like this, basically. And this is the flag of Indonesia. So I think you see why. I have very insane drawing skills, by the way, if you didn't know about that. And besides this, first shit's American coach should be able to advance even further. Except there comes a ZZ, and so it comes. Now you have to be a little bit cautious about it. Left, right, and center players are coming in. Merrick has to switch over to the pistol, finds the headshot onto Asterisk. And so it's only Frost Misty. And there it goes, 8-5. And to be very fair, you say you gotta feel sorry for Recca. I don't feel sorry at all. I think especially that is something they can now use as a reinvestment to improve. Logically, talents are talents. They're not just resources you can grind like gold, water, salt for matchmaking, but you see that is something you have to see when you have that now well invest, and now that money you can well invest, especially as those countries have a little bit of lower living standards and the price is probably still being quite high. You can use it quite well. That's at least my interpretation of things. As there it goes, Asterix finding himself too. So as it goes, first hit Snow, reacting wisely, only Frost Misty alive. And LWP coming there from outside as well, and so the approach together has to be well done. Frost Misty is not in the best of a position, but he should be able to find the first, and now the AWP needs to strike. A smoke is in the hands, and as he switched over to that AK, he could easily do the defuse. Molotov, that one. Smoke through, yeah, perfect. As I would be a librarian reading it through. X-Pro, Shack, he's a little bit exposed for the smoke, no! That should not be the case! And then suddenly when you leave a little gap there and your head peeks out, that's the way to do it. Nice try, Spider-Man. Yes, I know, I'm trying very hard. So round number 15. Will it be the EHOME taking that double or triple round advantage? It seems like that is the case. Or not. Taking that back. Asterisk, who has done a good job so far, gets in the end taken out by the only Taiwanese player on the server. It is EHOME taking a 9-6 lead, switching over right now to the site of the terrorists. And if that will work out in the end or not, we're going to see if that will be the case. Bentet needs better teammates. I don't know, give the people a little bit of time, figure it out. I mean, Tyloo is, well, one of the only few teams that actually goes so far in the entire Asian scene, and especially, I think a little bit more practice. It's a lot about environment, and what I think I don't understand, I unfortunately don't know about the resources financially of Tyloo, but why not get those guys out of China and let them, like, play a month or two in Europe? Maybe I missed it, maybe they've done it already, and just my knowledge isn't good enough. But that would be just my 2 cents, and I'm not a coach, and not a player developer or anything. Though I should do that. Either way. 96. Rizzo realizing they're pretty much going ramp right here, and so the B side will be attacked. Iwara will not find himself anything. Nice there. Slowly finds one, can't connect onto the second, closes the door, says no trespassing allowed. Get the hell out of here. And with that happening right now, Iwar finds himself at least slowly, but it seems like Asterisk is the only one. Next pro wants to keep Asterisk a little bit under pressure. Could find himself Merrick, but then he diffuses through. And now you gotta do it. The knife comes out, and it is actually the pistol doing it. Alright. With that being said, you know, the thing is, I personally feel that 10-6 will right now bring EHOME a good lead in case they're not falling into any of those traps pistols can actually bring yourself in. I mean, the unfortunate situation very often is it sometimes goes like that. And you know, all the questions, I mean, who's this caster? You can always ask. It is me, surprisingly, I would say. My name is Sesht. I'm the guy with... Sorry, I have to comprehend what just happened. A scout as well as a ZZ, at the first 25 seconds, took out 2 EHOME players. That's just unbelievable. That's just kind of unbelievable. Be slowly. This team has to react so goddamn good to it. The problem is, no! That B slowly can take down the one who's just 10 HP there. And hello Prius, I hope you're doing good. Hope everyone does good. Riding Daddy, I'm not quite sure if I'm 100% satisfied with that. I usually don't get called Daddy, because if you hear my voice, I think it's not a very daddy-ish voice. Sorry, that was to put that in the room right now. 30 more seconds left. And there comes the scout, successful into Merrick. First hit spotted. First hit's down to 8. That seems to pretty much done and over at that point in time for EHOME. As the scout takes 3. They have done European boot camps, and it's basically my non-existent knowledge. And the 10-7, I mean, that previous round was already kind of debatable. Asterisk seems to feel very crisp today with that scout, as he finds himself just an easy entry. Next pro shot gets himself Asterisk. Now, talking about him, you can say bye-bye. So Insane and Co, with just those pistols and already a man-equalized situation happening, you have to see what is the best approach to them. Ram seems to be the kind of idea they have or so. Got himself just that Molotov to do it right. There's Super SYS, finds himself the first. X-Pro taken out. There it goes. We're zoned down to 10. Now you gotta react quickly, and there's the AK assistant from Frost Misty. Merrick as well as be slowly going down that ramp ASAP. 10 HP onto Rousseau. Should be easy. One body shot, this guy's out. And as his lights are out, another one to find to the left. Be slowly can't connect there. And SYS on the double. 10-8. And Recca. They're coming closer and closer to also achieve those double digits. Caster, how many languages do you speak? Well, actually, I'm a native German, so I speak, logically, German, if that's a little bit of a surprise to you. And then English. I've used to learn Italian as well as Latin. You know, I'm not that far, unfortunately. I don't speak it fluent. I can say that I don't speak Italian. That's the first thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the moment with my Italian knowledge. Either way. So, he has only 2, and now only 1 in front of him. The 10-9 is fairly easy found. EHOME on to 10-9. And so I personally feel that we might just see ourselves stat back and forth starting at one point. What is a little bit surprising to me, EHOME on the aggressor site. It couldn't deliver us too much. I mean, besides pistol round, which went, when we take a look at it, in a quite okay way. There was not too much on the brink of losing. I personally feel like that outside thing is always a little bit risky. Because, first of all, there's no op. Okay, Recca, they didn't want that. But StarSeries is a little bit unpredictable. And what I'm asking myself, how much did they expect it? Not at all. If he would have been a little bit more patient, then probably he could have found himself a little more. But that was not the case. Frost Misty from outside. They're able to connect onto not only one, just wanted to say onto a second. It looked promising. But I got debated. And so Furshits and Merrick, they're not allowed to get debated. They have to weigh up their options properly, as only 60 seconds are left on that clock. Which way do you want to go? How do you want to approach it? Where do you hope to not find opponents? Ram seems to be the right kind of idea though. But Iwar, he comes in from behind. Might hit the right timing. Because that time is running out. Iwar rather plays it passive than aggressive, because you still want to maintain that man advantage, and besides that, go for an easy retake. There it ticks and ticks, going up heaven. As I first of all thought, that could be the classic ramp approach towards the B side. The question is, how much do they gonna expect that? Bomb's going down. Iwar knows, and Iwar's taken out. Well done here by the team of Recca. And as there it goes, Rousseau. Oh no, he's shooting his teammate right there. The Malo is quite well positioned, but SYS is in a tricky situation, and EHOME with an uncomfortable start. Now it comes down to only the 13 HP CT, who has himself actually a kit, a smoke, but unfortunately low HP makes him an easy one for a spray. He tries to bait it out, but there he doesn't fall for it. He's seen that of Furshits, and there it all ticks away, and he can't do it in the end. EHOME finding themselves the 11th with an all-in working out. And Furshits was there actually the man to destroy the man advantage for Recca, as he was standing up there and expecting the player to come out of the huts, and from then on, doing everything right was staying up there. 11-9. We might advance to just a further scoreline here for Recca, as that CT site has to now react to it, otherwise they'll fall a little short. EHOME will not only achieve the 12th one, but also an economic draw coming in then for the CTs. One taken out on each side. Rizzo right now coming in. X-Pro taken out from up the top. That bomb is going down. There comes Rizzo. Has the perfect kind of positioning for this. Now needs to be taken out. Insane takes its time to get over Furshits. As that bomb finally goes down, Insane has only one angle to hold. StarSeries with that AWP, very patient. No mistakes allowed. Furshits right now getting himself that opper. Rather escapes through the door than being caught off guard. War gets out. There's a Malo in the hands of Insane, and especially he is going to be a key player in this, because there's no smoke onto Frost Misty. He doesn't have a kit either, and he has to check every single angle. There he goes for one, though. Furshits only needs to play that time. And as the patience is on his side, and especially a Frost Misty rotating away, EHOME will figure a way to find number 12. And so, the only one coming into a gun in the next round will probably be him, as well as SYS, in case he's interested in finding himself even that buy. Just to give you a little bit of a reminder, We started off with EHOME having a great start. Pistol round found. It looked like they could just run away to the 12th one. This one was one with a scout as well as a ZZ. Finding major success for Recca. And I think EHOME is hardly interested in that deja vu. Sorry, that was a kickback to initial D. Sorry, always when I say that word, it's coming back to that. Either way, EHOME, as they found themselves the first frag onto SYS, it should be a pretty much closing deal right here for round number 13, and then they're only 3 rounds away from actual success. It's not going to be an immense advantage, but an advantage to work with. So, Rousseau gets stinked and taken down to 6 HP. Does he find himself a fractal? He does, together with Frost Misty. As an M4 is still taken out of the game, back to a 3 versus 3. Now only Warren Rousseau alive. He tries his best, but with 6 HP right now. The only thing and the best he can do is probably pick up a gun from somewhere. So 22 HP onto X-Pro. Could do the job, but single bullets from a running UMP seals the deal right here. And you see, those are actually the old camera flybys, because back then the CTs were spawned back there. And logically a little bit further, but also back there. And as Wolf have revamped the map a little, they said we need to change a few things, including that. So, Asterisk only flash to the outside. Smoke wall being built. Will not find himself the first tree going down there. Smeric eats up 1 bullet, but not much more than that. For secret they are in the first 25 seconds. And the question is, can they prevail? They're on the B side. SYS has a good positioning here. He has to move back, and there he finds 1, and also a second, which gives us that 3 versus 4 situation. Back to a 3v3 with Insane not becoming insane yet, but being ultimately fine and good enough. Bomb's being patient. As that bomb is being patient, it's being dropped down. The wind whistling from outside, defining what is happening right here. Because first of all, it's silence. Now it's the buy. That is not working out for EHOME. Asterisk is taking him down, 13 to 10, and Recca have now achieved the double digits. Now we're gonna see if they all make it work, if they plug off a few more heads, right, left, right, and center, or not. This wind is driving me crazy. It's something you usually... I remember I was once at a vacation at the north coast of Germany. I think I was blown away by the wind into the sand. That was not a fun experience, because I hate sand. At least in my face. I don't know how you feel about it. Either way, 13-10 it is. Mixed buy coming in from EHOME. As we see 2 ZZs, as well as a UMP there onto Insane. Recca have definitely a massive advantage with that weaponry right ahead. The question is, can they use that advantage? Will be Merrick and Co. finding themselves actually just what they're actually looking for. And this is round number 14. Breaking then the CT economy due to the back and forth and the reset that would now come in. The first few seconds, silence. Nothing found, nobody killed. Peaceful it is around Nuke. The peaceful environment will fairly soon change. The options have to be weighed up. EHOME need to see how they're going to do it. First of all, they need that around number 14. Second of all, their economy isn't the best either, and from then on the CTs could technically secure more and more, find the momentum, bring into security on their own map pick. But first of all, time's ticking, and it's ticking, and it's ticking, and it's ticking. It's gonna be the A side aggression for sure. They hoped that anyone from Recca would come onto them. As that is not the case. Perfect positioning there. And that puts it down to only first hits as well. Insane. Can't do much about it. UMP the only last tool alive. And Rousseau is picking it up. 3 versus 1 it was in the end. And the 3 versus 1 then gets denied logically. As that is something we usually see with Asian CS. And I think that's something we can call from EHOME very understandable. To just explain you why. From what I've seen, especially Chinese teams, they pick up a very aggressive pace on the CT side, and under any circumstance. So what probably EHOME hoped for was Recca doing a mistake, finding 1 or 2 players who thought that they would be overconfident and finding themselves aggressive terrorists. And from then on, as that didn't happen, they realized, okay, time's ticking away, we need to do something. And with something happening, it went just in favor of the lads of Recca. Door basically opened, allowing Super SYS to find the first one onto Merrick. Same goes for Slowly. It's the same goal for first hits is the question. Oh, actually not. And so, that first frag found. The question is, will any more come in? Yes, Asterisk is taken out. From behind, Rousseau strikes, not only onto 1, but also on the 2nd. We're coming close to that certain tie. And I personally feel, and I don't know how you guys do, but I personally feel like that this back and forth might lead us to an overtime right here, on the one hand, but on the other, with the AKs right now being in possession of the terrorists, it's fairly easy have ourselves that round being favorable. And so we got the aggression from Asterisk, something they have been looking for previously, but he just goes in the gap of smoke, finally taken out by X-Pro, as that first casualty was kind of too much already for the terrorist site. That comes down to Frost Misty. Interestingly enough, I think we never actually have seen a CT op when Recca was playing. So Frost Misty, though, he gets himself that bomb. Eric picks it up again. The CT site should be well informed. Insane could hit a good timing, though. It doesn't make it work. Iwar flicks over onto him, and that will be now only Merrick who could technically do it. If he now sees that there's a player behind it, he still has a nade in his hand. And that nade works. No, it does not. It bounces off once more. And as it bounces off, Merrick's position known. They can all close it out towards him. There from behind, we see a Misty coming, but Merrick, as he got major attention from the EHOME, from the Recca players, he now can just casually move down and make that plant happen on the side of B. The question is, how long is he going to survive? And in case, is he even going to survive? There's 3 players, kit onto all of them, smoke, Molotov, nades, all you were looking for. He's the first 10, and that's Merrick finding himself from 3 players. The first makes it all a little more possible. One is down to 20 HP, but Iwar, he's there to react to it, and he's there to find the only player from Taiwan here. 13-13. The back and forth has come to an end. First hit's coming to a pause. And as that is the case, EHOME need to consider what they finally do with this. And as you know, on HLTV, it says there's actually Karsa, who used to be in Flash playing here. The thing I'm not 100% aware about, is that true or not? Because my problem is, basically, is that I feel very often, or what happened, I don't feel it. It is very often sometimes that I'm fully messing up with my language, but first of all, that the Asian rosters have not been 100% accurate on HLTV. Not to blame HLTV, because the Asian teams tend to change it fairly often and fairly much. So, with that being the case, I'm not quite sure if First Shits is actually Carcer or not. Because also, all his previous names have been Forrest or Eisen or Rachel. I'm not quite sure why Rachel, though. So insane. Probably heard those steps that were now up on the hut. For Warren Co. having only to hold it one more minute through. It's gonna be EHOME necessarily taking that round. I'm sure they get themselves a quite massive losing bonus. The only issue I'm really seeing with all of this that's very simple. Said if in case EHOME is losing, their economy is pretty much down the drain either way. They can do a buy, sure. Not the best one. And so, as it comes, it's only down to slowly, as it so fast happened. He's only living with 12 HP. A body shot rules it out. There you see how thin the wallets of EHOME are compared to their opponents. Spooderman caster, yes, it's your classic Spooderman caster Zest. If you didn't know, I'm the Spooderman guy. First of all, that Molotov though, it didn't land quite according to plan, allowing them to move down the secret section. Asterisk finding himself X-Pro. Merrick though on the return. We see barely any utility there on the EHOME site. As SYS though strikes. Comes down to SYS once more. Flashbang is perfectly timed. He can move out. A body shot to Merrick makes it possible. First shits. You're the only one to do it. As he gets himself SYS. Too many obstacles in the way. Brazo knows the guys should just come in. As Furshitz is taking a look around, it should be Risotto. Finding him in the end, 15-13. Once more a bye. And there we go, round number 29. Overtime or not is once more the question, as it is a very legit question. As your plays need to be 100% on point right now if you're EHOME. This is the Recca map, and for being a Recca map pick, it's far away from really good. But still not the worst. And outside. Gonna first of all have a duel between Asterisk as well as X-Pro. Not much happening there. Shots being traded, not much more. Iwar has a good positioning. Frost Misty reacts. Merrick though finds himself with first hits a double, and so Iwar tries to do the flank round, which could technically work out quite well. Not too much utility though. Left back onto the CTs. Asterisk, who waits for the player to come out outside, will meet X-Pro Shack very soon. Takes him out. 27 and 51 HP. Need to rule it out right now. The question is, will Recca be able to take down both and find that defuse, as they have a good bit of buffer time-wise left. First hit on one. First hit's taken out. We found ourselves to 16-13. And with that being said, Recca take home the first there. And that first win on our first map is going to come ourselves next to Dust 2. Something I'm always looking forward to, kind of, because on the other hand, it's Dust 2, as it can be some kind of weird mixture, and it can be especially some weird-ass play. I'm sorry, some very weird play to have. Why did I say that? I don't know. Dust 2 is very random to me when I play it on my own. Maybe that's the reason to say it. So I'm very sorry for that. Hope the family show is still going to plan. With that being said, Recca and EHOME leave the first map in favor of the lads from Indonesia. We're going to watch Dust 2 in a second. This is the first best of 2 of the day. My name is Sesht, and one thing before we end, I somewhere saw a question, Big or Windigo. I'm not 100% satisfied with Big, but I know Windigo have internal issues, and one of the few reasons they play is EPL, so I'm excited to see how it will go. Big somehow can surprise me. I'm going for Big. That's the first thing. And the second thing was, can you lend me your spider suit? Hell no, it's mine. I should really buy a spider suit once and just cast with that. Either way, we're going into a little break. We'll just be right back with map number 2.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.